Hello, I'm wbz-tv meteorologist Barry Burbank. I have your forecast for the next several days, and it looks like we have some snow in the forecast. And we're going to talk about the winter coming up on WBZ News tomorrow, Monday at 5 p.m. My colleagues and I, the WBZ weather team, are going to talk about what's been going on this winter, what's happened, because we had forecast above average snowfall. That hasn't materialized here in eastern sections and southeastern New England, but it certainly has materialized in northern New England. They've had a lot of snow. So we'll take a little bit of a review, figure out what's been going on and why this has happened, and a little preview of what's going to be happening in the rest of February and into March. You know what happened last March? We had quite a big month with a lot of snow and wind and that sort of thing, so it was a backloaded winter for sure. Will that happen again this year? Join us at 5 o'clock tomorrow on Monday here on WBZ News. We'll talk about that. Well, February snows over the last few years have varied all over the place, from back in 2012 when there was virtually nothing. That was a big El Nino year. It was a blowtorch winter. It was so warm, much warmer than this winter has been. And here we are, 2019. We've had a big goose egg in Boston so far, only 10 days in, but no snow at all. But then we run the gamut all across most recent years. Of course, we know the big snow blitz year of 2015 when we had 65 inches. Hard to imagine that that even happened. But I'm sure most of us will never forget that winter. That is for sure. Let's take a look at Boston's snowfall so far. It's a measly, meager 2.3 inches. And in going through February 10th, the years that had less than 6 inches through February 10th, it only happened 3 other times in Boston's records. And those 3 times, the seasonal average was 15 inches. That's all. And it turned out on those 3 times, it was the 4th, 7th, and 9th least snowiest seasons. But there are always exceptions to the rule. Will we get very little the rest of the year, or are we going to go into a back-loaded winter? We'll see what happens as we talk about that tomorrow on WBZ News. These will be highs across the nation today. Of course, it's very cold in the northern plains, in the northern Rockies, but really nice, really warm in Florida. This system is going to emerge from the Rocky Mountains and develop into a pretty good storm as it moves up to the west of us, takes the inland route. But some energy down in here is going to move over to the coast and make a secondary storm. That's why the cold air is going to hold in for a while to create the snow, which I expect on Tuesday afternoon. But not this afternoon, just some high cloudiness starting to show up. More so as after dark, it really starts to thicken up. As a weak system goes by, it may trigger a few isolated snowflakes, a few flurries. And then tomorrow morning, we start with some clouds. It's all going to clear out. You might wonder why, hey, the forecast is for a storm coming up for Tuesday. Why is it clearing up? Well, it's clearing up because that first system moves out, but then the next system comes at us. So by Tuesday morning, filtered to dim sunshine in Boston, the thicker cloudiness will roll right in pretty quickly. The snow will be not too far behind that, but it's not going to be around here for the morning commute. It's going to be an afternoon commute impact. And as we get deeper into that homebound commute on Tuesday, it's going to become more problematic, as it looks like a pretty good thumping of snow extends all the way down to the Cape. Now, this pinker shade comes up here. That means it's going to go into a period of sleet. And then inland, it may go to sleet to freezing rain, while over eastern and southeastern Mass, it turns over to these colors here, which is just plain straight rain. But meantime, it stays snow up north. So that's an interesting setup, but it's been quite repetitive during this whole winter so far. It's been northern New England that's gotten all the snow extending into southern Canada. So how much will we get out of this? I think 1 to 3 inches in this solid swath here, this white zone, which includes Boston. I'm thinking Boston is going to get about 3 inches, maybe extending up along the coast of the North Shore. And down on the Cape, too. You're going to get snow down there an inch or two before there's a switch to some sleet, and then right over to rain. Then the 3-inch line runs from near Boston to maybe northwestern Rhode Island to northern Connecticut. Then the 6-inch line is right about here. So it's 3 inches working up to 4 to 5, then maybe 6 inches as you get up in here generally. And then the 6 inches here working up to 7, 8 to 9, and you get up into central New Hampshire. That's what it looks like right now. As the storm comes our way, the main low goes to the west. The snow comes in Tuesday afternoon and evening. It turns over to ice and a mess inland, but turns to rain on the coast. You know the drill. This has been repetitive all season long. As the storm is a coastal hugger, it goes on by. So after that, we look at Valentine's Day. And looks like on Valentine's Day, we'll have in the morning about 25, at noontime about 35. If you're going out late afternoon in the evening, it'll be in the mid to upper 30s and falling back to the lower 30s during Valentine's evening. So that's the way it looks. Back in 2015, we had 16.2 inches of snow. Some of that fell A little bit of it fell on Valentine's Day. A lot of it fell on the day after Valentine's Day. But on Valentine's morning of 2016, it was -9. Last year, we had a relatively mild Valentine's Day. The high was 47 degrees. This year, it looks like it'll be about 40 after starting out near 25 for Valentine's Day, sunny to partly cloudy. There'll be another storm next weekend. Not sure how it's all going to shake out, but right now it's leaning towards a big rain event in eastern New England, maybe some big snows in northwestern New England. And that's the forecast for now. Have a nice rest of the weekend.